Well, running a restaurant looks like a lot of fun, but there's a lot of behind the scenes things that have to be completed so your restaurant can be successful. One of the first things that you need to know is the cost of all your ingredients. And your first job for opening your restaurant is going to be to complete this price list. And I'm going to give you a little help on how to do this. So if we look at our first little column over here, we have our items and our vegetables. The first one's broccoli crowns. You can buy it in bulk for you can get 20 pounds and you can get it for $24.20. Well, the unit cost, we want to know how much a pound of broccoli crowns is going to cost. And to do that, we need to divide. So on another sheet of paper, you're going to write out your division problem. And so I'm going to show you how to do it on the side here. So you're going to say, I want to know $24.20 divided by 20 pounds. Now look, 20, our divisor, does not have a decimal. So we'll leave that decimal alone, and I'm going to go ahead and bring it up to my answer. If I can do that without this. There we go. So now I'm going to divide. How many times can 20 go into 2? It can't. How many times can 20 go into 24? 1 time, multiply through, and subtract. I'm left with 4 and bring down my 2. 20 can go into 42 2 times. 2 times 20 is 40. I subtract. I'm left with 2 and I bring down the 0. And 20 can go into 21 times. I subtract and I'm left with 0. So the unit cost is going to be $1.21 per pound. Okay? And you're going to do that with every one of these that's like this, that gives you the bulk purchase and bulk cost. So for these in the vegetables, that's what you're going to do. You're going to do the same thing for the nuts, meats, and seafood, and condiments. Now let's look at what it gives us here for essentials. It says baking powder is a 30-pound purchase. It doesn't tell us how much it's going to cost altogether, but it does tell us the unit cost. So if we know we have to pay $1.70 per pound and we're going to get 30 pounds, and that means we're going to have to multiply. So on your separate sheet of paper, and you might want to label it BP so you know which area you're working on. So I'm going to say $1.70 times 30. And the reason I put the $1.70 at the top is I know that I don't have to line up my decimal points, and I just like it because it has 3 digits. I prefer it being at the top. It's just the way I am, but you could do it either way. Now I know 0 times whatever is going to be 0. So then I have to put my placeholder in. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. Add that together, and then I have to count my decimal places. Okay, so I have 2 decimal places here and 0 here, so I have to go over 2 spots. 1, 2. And so I have $51. So my bulk cost is going to be $51. All right. Now, when you're looking for the bulk cost, you're going to look for that, multiply by doing the same thing with your fruit, and I think that's the only one. Finally, let's look at dairy here, where we're looking for our bulk purchase. So how many pounds we're going to be purchasing, or ounces, or whatever it's asking for. You can see right here, that's a weird one, DOZ, but look what it's talking about, eggs. So we know that it's talking about dozen. Okay, so blue cheese, we do not know how much we're buying, but we do know it's $73.55 to buy the whole unit. And we're paying $3.68 per pound. Okay, so we're going to divide. We're going to say $73.55 divided by $3.68 because I want to know how many pounds I bought out of this amount. And I have decimals in my divisor, so I move over. 1, 2. Do the same thing in my dividend. 1, 2. And rewrite my problem. So now I'm going to write it as 368. Sorry, that's kind of sloppy. Let me rewrite that. 368, 7,355. Okay, so I know 368 cannot go into 7. It cannot go into 73. It can go into 735. But how many times can it go into 735? I am not sure. So you know what I'm going to do over here? I'm going to say, okay, 368 times 2. I can just do that really quick over here. And I see, oh, that's 736. Well, tartar sauce. I guess I'm going to have to do 1 over here. So if I 1 times 368, subtract, remember to borrow, 15 minus 8 is 7. Sorry, my brain went blank. Borrow over here, 12 minus 6 is 6, 6 minus 3 is 3, and then I bring down my 5. Now, 3,675. Well, I know that's pretty close to doing it by 10, so I'm going to just say by 9. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 6 is 54, plus 7 is 61. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 6. 27 plus 6 is 33. And then we can subtract that out. So 5 minus 3 is, 5 minus 2 is 3. 7 minus 1 is 6. 3, and then we have 0, and then we're left with 363. Now, because we are just trying to find a basic unit, I don't want you to keep on going. I want you to just keep your whole number. So this is pounds, so you're going to put 19 pounds. Now, if you look, any of the ones where you are needing the unit or the bulk purchase, which is like right here with starches, you are going to be dividing. If you have any questions or something's not coming up right or you're just not sure, make sure you stop and come and ask me, or make sure you just put on your tracking sheet that you need some help.